Hi, my name is Richard Campfield with Ultrabond, and today this series is going to be how you can practice with repairing cracked windshields at home. You can actually become almost an expert practicing at home on a piece of glass. Now what you need to get first is, this is a workstation, and if you see our manual or go to our manuals, you'll see a picture of these and a link where to purchase them. This workstation, it costs $20, and you can order it from Harbor Freight, and the link is on our website in our manual. You can also use 2 sawhorses instead of this workstation, and a picture and a link is also in the manual on our website. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make cracks in this piece of glass and simulate a crack that's in a car. This is not a windshield. This is a piece of laminated glass. It's 3 feet by 4 feet. And this is the best piece of glass to use to practice fixing cracked windshields. Reason being is a windshield is a bowed, so the stress is off, and when you're trying to work on them, it'll keep on cracking on you. And you can only use the passenger side and driver's side. You can't use the top or the bottom. A piece of laminated glass, you can get 50 crack repairs out of one piece of laminated glass. You can order this from a glass shop. It'll cost you probably $50 to $70 to order a piece. And again, you can practice windshield crack repair in the comfort of your home. And what we're going to do is make the cracks, and then we're going to repair them. This is a glass cutter, and what you're going to do is go to the edge, and you're going to make about an inch little cut like that, and then just go like this, and you'll see it cracked. And you want to make it go out about 7-8 inches. Now the next step you want to do is, as you see in our manual and in our PowerPoint presentation videos, a windshield has a gap at the edge. The crack has a gap, and that comes from the installation stress. That's why you have edge crack resins. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set up a crack opener, and we're going to crank it up, and this is to make a gap at the edge. Okay, and this will make the crack go a little further. Okay, however far you want it. You want to go about 7, 8, 9 inches, because this is practice. And again, what you're trying to do is make a gap here, because in a windshield, the installation stress on an edge crack is what pries that open. You'll notice the diagram in our crack manual. It's there a couple times, and it's also on our PowerPoint. There's a wide gap at the edge here, and that's from the installation stress gluing it to the car body there. And then as the crack goes out here, it starts to close and then closes. What's closing it is the polyvinyl butyl bond to the glass. That's what's closing it. When that stress becomes greater than the installation stress, that's when the crack stops. That's why in the real world on a car, you're going to see most of your cracks are going to be about 8, 9, 10 inches off the edge if you get them within the first couple of weeks. Okay, so here we've made our crack now. It's very easy to do. And so now we're going to do our repair. I usually put a mirror on there. Now you're going to drill in front of it, and you know why? Well, like I said, you can practice in the comfort of your own home. You can even pull up a chair, hang it down close to it. And what we're going to do first is drill in front. We're going to drill in front of the point, about 1/8 of an inch, and we're going to tap a bullseye. You want to go about halfway through, if you're not there yet. And we're cut there because we have a dull drill bit. So, which is a good thing, because now we can show you how to change your drill bit. Press this with your thumb, unloosen it. We have two types of drill bits. We have tapered and round head. I personally prefer the round heads myself. They make a smaller hole. Okay, then we change our drill bit. Drilling is something you'll get the feel of after you've done it about 20 or 30 times. And again, you can practice that on the glass. Now I'm going to tap a bullseye. Now you see I got a nice big round bullseye here. You always want to terminate the crack in the bullseye, because when you fill this up with resin, you have both a mechanical and a chemical stop. Okay, you don't want the crack to go beyond this bullseye. If it does, after you're done with the repair and you've cured it, then you're going to drill, tap bullseye, and do it again. Because you always want the crack to terminate in the bullseye. You do that, it'll never spread on you. Okay, now in the real world, this gap is going to be a lot wider. Again, this is a piece of laminated glass. It's tighter. So when you're practicing, you can use a lower viscosity than you normally would in a vehicle. Normally in the vehicles, we want you to use about 1600 in the edge, and then 400 in as much of the crack as possible. Okay, so this tool, I'm going to load it up. The way you load your tool up is you simply take your bottle of resin, stick it in the tip, and squeeze it. That's how easy it is and quite fast it is to fill up your tool. Okay, then you want to draw it back, and the next thing you want to do is put Vaseline on your cup. Okay, then you always want to, you don't want to place it right on the point, because then you'll leave all your Vaseline behind. So you want to put your suction cup flat, and then slide it so it will have be lubricated where you're going to be sliding the cup. Okay, then you mount it on the drill hole. You want to get it pointing down a little bit, and then come over your drill hole, look in your mirror, and get level. Then you want to pull a vacuum to create a vacuum in that bullseye, and then put it on pressure to start seeing it fill the bullseye up. Now, again, when you're in the real world, I'm going to pull a vacuum a second time. This does two things. Make sure you get all the air out of that bullseye, and also creates more action, which will help wick the glass in that bullseye. Wicking is covered in our PowerPoint presentation video. Glass cleaner, spray away, is a good to use on your suction cups for a crack opener, because you're not going to be, unless you're going to be sliding it. But usually you don't have to. And when you put your suction cups on, you want to peel them back. You don't want to push them on like that, because that can spread the crack on a car. And you can move it around a little bit. Now you want to pry the crack open here until we see that resin start to flow down the crack. Okay, turn it clockwise just a little bit to see that suction cup rise. And then turn this until you see the resin start to flow. And as soon as you see the resin start to flow, then you stop. Okay, there you go, it's starting to flow down the crack. Now it's time to do the edge. Okay, now you're going to take your tool, your injector, Okay, and we're going to do the edge. Now normally you're going to use 1600 on a vehicle, or 24 if you have a wide crack. But while you're practicing inside, again, the gap here is not going to be as wide as it is in a car. We put this here to try to get a gap. So you can use 400 while you're practicing here, and you could use probably 90 or 200 here if you're doing the meet in the middle method. Okay, so now you're going to do the injector slide. Start at the edge, turn it slightly to get the resins to start to flow. Okay, and if it's not flowing, you got to turn this a little bit more. Again, on a real car, it's going to go in very easily at the edge here because the gap is very wide at the edge from the installation stress. And normally, when you're going to have 1600 in your injector that you're doing the injector slide with, and you will normally be getting about half of the crack with it. You want to make sure you fill the crack without any spots. Okay, and once it's stopped, turn this a few times, turn it upside down, put your cap on and put it away for next use. Then you go back to the point and you'll see the resin has started to flow, and you're going to slide down the crack. Now the reason these go slowly is again because Ultrabond process uses structural adhesives in the crack. That's why our bond is as strong as new glass. We do not dump water-thin resin in a crack. We use structural adhesives. So you go to where you stopped with your 1600 resin, and give this a turn so you don't spill your resin. Lower the pressure on your bolts a little bit. Pop your tool off. And now we're going to tab the crack. You're going to put a bead of resin on top of the crack, and you will normally use 2400 or 1600 on the top, because what you want to do is make a bead that's not going to go dripping down the crack. This is to prevent air from re-entering the brake. Release your pressure, and always take these off before you put your tab on. Okay, so by putting that bead on there, you'll prevent air from re-entering the crack. Now this is the opaque Scotch tape. It's made out of the same material that our film tabs are in your kit. And Mylar allows the UV to pass through it. So you can use this tape to do cracks because it makes you can just throw it away when you're done. You want to lay it down over the crack. and then you cure it. Take a UV light and you place it on there for 2 minutes on a crack. Okay, we just cured it for 2 or 3 minutes. Now we're going to take the UV light off. And we're going to slice this off 45-degree angle. And then it's nice to use the tape because you can throw it away. Okay, and you can wash the crack off. And there you go. Again, that's how you practice. How you practice at home. How you make a crack on a piece of laminated glass sitting on a rack, and practice your methods. Now on both of these I use the meet in the middle method. There's also the two-step method, which is a very good method, especially when the windshield is hot. And then there's a 3-injector method, which a lot of people prefer that one. But this one here, but you can practice all three most popular methods on this piece of laminated glass. And again, you could do 50 repairs on one piece of glass before you even go out and do someone's car. So it's a very effective way to practice in the comfort of your own home. Again, my name is Richard Campfield. I'm with Ultrabond. Please visit our website, ultrabond.com. That's www.ultrabond. Free to call me anytime you have any questions. I have trained hundreds of people. And again, I'm president and founder of Ultrabond. I'm actually the guy that actually invented how to fix a cracked windshield back in the latter part of 1989. This is 2015, and I'm also currently the president of the National Windshield Repair Association. The National Windshield Repair offers certification. I do recommend that once you're in the business and you've got a few hundred repairs under your belt, join the NWA and then be certified. We recommend the NWA certification because it's a national company and it's not an individual company. We kind of, you never know when a private company is doing certification, how if there's any prejudice there, where they let it go, or they slack a little bit. But when you have a national association, a certification program, it's better to be recognized through that certification. So again, thank you very much.